My kids announced, "We're not coming to your 70th birthday, Dad. Got plans with friends." I said, "All right then." Then I booked a one-way ticket to Rome and started planning a year-long trip around the world. By the time they figured out I was liquidating their inheritance, they were blowing up my phone, crying about family values. Here's how it all went down. I'm Frank, 70 years old, retired electrician from Cleveland, Ohio. For 45 years, I busted my ass wiring houses, factories, you name it. Raised 3 kids: Tommy, 42, Lisa, 39, and Jenna, 36, mostly on my own after their mom, Diane, passed from breast cancer when Jenna was just 10. I wasn't a perfect dad. Missed some school plays, worked too many weekends. But I made damn sure they had everything they needed. College funds, braces, summer camps, first cars. Hell, I even took out a second mortgage to help Tommy buy his house in 2008. Lisa got a chunk of my savings for her condo down payment in Chicago. Jenna, I paid off her student loans so she could start her graphic design business. All told, I've shelled out over $300,000 to set them up. Not because I'm loaded, I am not. I just prioritized them over everything. My retirement fund? More like their launchpad. Diane's death hit us hard. I was 44, grieving, trying to keep 3 kids from falling apart. Tommy was a sullen teenager. Lisa was a know-it-all middle schooler. And Jenna clung to me like I was her lifeline. I worked overtime, skipped vacations, drove a beat-up Ford Taurus so they could have Nikes and iPods. I never remarried, didn't have the time or energy. My life was them, and I thought we were tight. Family dinners every Sunday, even after they moved out. They'd call me Pops. Send me Father's Day cards with sappy notes. "You're the best, Dad. We owe you everything." Yeah, right. Fast forward to last month. My 70th birthday was coming up. Big deal, right? 3/4 of a century. Survived a heart scare in 2019. Still kicking. I figured it was time to celebrate. Planned a barbecue at my Placia modest ranch house in Parma. Same one I raised them in. Nothing fancy. Ribs, burgers, some beers, maybe a cake from the bakery down the street. I texted the group chat, turning 70 on the 15th. Barbecue at my place. Bring your kids. Let's make it a day. Tommy's got 2 boys. Lisa's got a daughter. And Jenna's got a toddler. I was stoked to see the grandkids. Tommy replied first. "Sorry, Pops. We're heading to Vegas that weekend. Buddy's bachelor party." Lisa chimed in. "I'm in Miami with some girlfriends. Can we do it another time?" Jenna's response was the kicker. "Got a music festival in Austin. Rain check." I stared at my phone, waiting for one of them to say, "Just kidding. We'll be there." Nothing. Not a single follow-up. My grandkids weren't coming either apparently. They were busy too. I texted back, "All right then. Have fun." No reply. I sat in my recliner, looking at the framed photos on the mantel. Tommy's graduation, Lisa's wedding, Jenna's first art show. All those years, all that money, all those late nights worrying if I was doing right by them. And now, 70, they couldn't be bothered to show up for a damn barbecue. I wasn't mad, not yet. Just hollow. Like I'd been carrying them for decades, and they just dropped me like an old toolbox. That night, couldn't sleep. Kept thinking about how I'd always been there. When Tommy got laid off in 2009, I covered his mortgage for 6 months. When Lisa's marriage fell apart, I drove 200 miles to help her move out. When Jenna's business tanked during COVID, I wired her $20,000 to keep it afloat. And now, Vegas, Miami, Austin. I started doing the math. My savings account had about $250,000 left, money I'd set aside for them, for their kids' college, for emergencies. I'd always told them it was family money. But what kind of family ditches their dad on his 70th? By morning, I'd made up my mind. If they didn't need me for a birthday, they didn't need my money either. I called my financial advisor, Dave, a guy I've known since high school. "Dave, I want to liquidate most of my savings. I'm going traveling." He laughed. Thought I was joking. "Frank, you haven't left Ohio in 20 years. Where you going?" I said, "Everywhere. Start with Italy. Then maybe Japan, New Zealand, you name it." He got quiet. "What about the kids' inheritance?" I leaned into the phone. "They're grown. They've got their houses. Their careers. They don't need it. I'm spending it on me. Over the next week, I booked a one-way ticket to Rome for the day after my birthday. Got a travel agent to map out a loose itinerary. Italy, Greece, Thailand, Australia, maybe a safari in South Africa. I'd always wanted to see the world but never did because I was too busy paying for their dreams. I listed my house for sale. Market's decent in Parma. Should fetch $220,000. Figured I'd rent a small apartment when I got back. If I ever did. I didn't tell the kids. Why would I? They were busy. My birthday came and went. I grilled a steak for myself, cracked a Miller Lite, and watched the Indians game. Nobody called. Not even a text. I posted a picture of my steak on the family group chat. Celebrating 70 solo. Cheers. Lisa replied. Looks good. Pops. Sorry we couldn't make it. Tommy sent a thumbs up emoji. Jenna didn't respond. I turned off my phone and started packing for Rome. 2 days later, I got a call from Tommy while I was at the bank, transferring funds to a travel account. Dad, what's this I hear about you selling the house? I guess my realtor, a buddy of his, let it slip. Kept it cool. Yeah, I'm downsizing. Time for a change. He got quiet. But, that's our family home. Where are we gonna have Christmas? I laughed. Vegas. Maybe? You tell me. He stammered. No. We thought you'd keep it for the grandkids. I said, grandkids who didn't show up for my birthday? They'll be fine. That's when the shit hit the fan. Lisa called next. Voice all high-pitched. Dad, you can't sell the house. That's where we grew up. What's going on? I told her the same thing. I'm traveling, starting with Rome. She went off. Rome? You're 70. What if you get sick? You need to stay here for the family. I cut her off. Family didn't show up last week. I'm done waiting around. Jenna texted. Not even a call. Dad, are you serious about selling the house? That's kind of selfish. Selfish. After 30 years of putting them first. I didn't reply. By the end of the week, they'd figured out I was serious. I'd sold the house for $230,000 cash deal. Closed in 10 days. I moved most of my savings into a high-yield account for travel expenses. Total war chest. About $400,000 after taxes and fees. Enough to see the world for a couple years. Maybe more if I'm smart. I posted a picture of my plane ticket to Rome on the group chat. Caption. First stop. Ciao. That's when they lost it. Tommy showed up at my temporary Airbnb. Red-faced. Dragging his wife Karen along. Dad, you can't just blow our inheritance like this. That money was for us. For the grandkids. I leaned back in my chair. Inheritance? You mean the money I earned while you were in Vegas? That money? Karen jumped in, trying the soft approach. Frank, we're just worried about you. Traveling alone at your age. I cut her off. I'm 70, not dead. And I'm not alone. IVE got a tour group in Italy. Nice folks. One's a retired chef. We're gonna eat like kings. Lisa called, crying. Dad, I'm sorry we missed your birthday. I didn't think it was a big deal. Can we make it up to you? I wasn't buying it. Make it up? You had 70 years to show up. I'm done waiting. She started sobbing about her daughter's college fund, how she'd counted on my savings to cover it. I said, you're a lawyer. Lisa, you make 6 figures. Figure it out. Jenna was the worst. She posted on Instagram a public post. Mind you about how I was abandoning the family and spending our future on a midlife crisis. Got 200 likes. Mostly her artsy friends. Comments were split. Half called me a selfish jerk. Half said, your dad deserves to live his life. Y'all fumbled the bag. The next day, I got an email from Tommy's lawyer buddy. Some guy named Brad. Said they were exploring legal options to protect the family's assets. I laughed so hard I spilled my coffee. I called my own lawyer, Mike, who's been handling my stuff since Diane died. He said, Frank, it's your money. They've got no claim. Tell him to pound sand. So I did. Texted the group chat. Talked to my lawyer. It's my money. Good luck in court. Radio silence for 24 hours. Then the love bombing started. Lisa showed up at the Airbnb with a homemade cake chocolate. My favorite. Dad, let's talk. I'm so sorry. We were selfish. Can we plan a family party? I took a bite of the cake. Dry as hell. Lisa, I'm leaving for Rome in 3 days. Party's over. Tommy tried next, bringing his kids over. My grandkids, Mikey and Ethan, hugged me and said they missed me. That one stung. I love those boys. But Tommy was using them as pawns. Pops, the kids need you. Don't do this. I knelt down, gave Mikey and Ethan some candy, and told Tommy, you want to be a dad? Be there for them. You weren't. Jenna's attempt was the most pathetic. She sent me a long, teary voicemail. Dad, I messed up. I should have come to your birthday. I was caught up in my own world. Please don't cut us out. I didn't call back. Instead, I sent her a postcard from the travel agency. See you in Rome. I wasn't trying to be cruel, just honest. They'd made their choices. I was making mine. The day before my flight, they tried a family intervention. All 3 showed up at the Airbnb with their spouses and kids. Tommy took the lead. Dad, we're sorry. We didn't realize how much your birthday meant. Let's start over. We'll plan a big party when you get back. I looked at them, my grown kids, sitting there like they were 10 years old again, waiting for me to fix everything. I'm not coming back for a while, I said. I'm seeing the Colosseum, the Parthenon, maybe the Great Wall. You've got your lives. I'm getting mine back. Lisa started crying. But what about the grandkids? They need their grandpa. I nodded at Mikey, who was playing with my old pocket knife. I'll video call them, send them postcards. But I'm not sitting in Parma waiting for you to remember I exist. Jenna tried the guilt trip. Dad, you're breaking Mom's legacy. She'd want us to stay together. That pissed me off. Your mom would have been at that barbecue. Don't bring her into this. They left after an hour of arguing, begging, and more tears. I felt like shit, but also free. For the first time in decades, I wasn't planning my life around them. I flew to Rome the next day. The city was everything I'd imagined: cobblestone streets, espresso so strong it could wake a coma patient, and history everywhere. I joined a tour group of retirees, made a friend named Carl who used to be a mechanic. We got drunk on Chianti and laughed about our ungrateful kids. Meanwhile, back home, the kids were spiraling. Tommy texted me a week into my trip. Dad, the house sale went through. You didn't even tell us. I replied with a picture of me at the Trevi fountain. Yup, threw a coin in for you. Lisa emailed, saying she'd taken a second job to start a college fund for her daughter. I get it now, Dad. You did so much for us. I didn't reply. Jenna's Instagram went quiet, no more posts about her abandoning Dad. Guess the likes dried up. A month in, I was in Athens when Tommy called. No yelling this time, just quiet. Dad, I fucked up. I took you for granted. I'm sorry. Can we visit you when you're back? I was standing on a hill overlooking the Acropolis. Wind in my hair, feeling 50 again. Tommy, I said, I'm not back for a while. But when I am, we'll talk. You plan the barbecue. He laughed. Sounded like he was crying. Deal. Pops. Lisa sent a letter, not an email. An actual letter to my hotel in Bangkok. Said she'd been thinking about all the times I drove her to soccer practice, paid for her law school applications, sat up with her when her marriage fell apart. I didn't see it then, Dad. I see it now. I love you. I kept the letter. Didn't write back yet. I will, eventually. Jenna's the only one who hasn't reached out since Athens. Carl says she's probably embarrassed. Maybe she'll come around. Maybe not. I'm not holding my breath. I'm in Tokyo now, eating ramen and planning a hike in New Zealand. The grandkids send me drawings through Lisa stick figures of Grandpa on an adventure. Makes me smile. To anyone who thinks I went too far. My kids learned that love isn't a one-way street. I gave them everything: houses, education, time. They gave me excuses. Now I'm giving myself the life I put on hold. We're not perfect. We're not healed. But we're real. And I'm seeing the world, one city at a time. Got a flight to Sydney tomorrow. Cheers.